Just the board. That's the one they discussed.
Okay, let's get a second. Stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to open up our meeting for June 4th. You guys read the minutes?
We need to close it, right?
Yeah, we'll read the minutes. We've heard the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept last month's minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we're going to close this meeting for the moment. We're going to open up the meeting for, I'll have Clayton go ahead and introduce it.
So the first public hearing would be on ordinance number 2026-3, which is short titled, an ordinance prohibiting the open burning of trash and solid waste within the town limits of Monroe. Per Indiana code, because it does have enforcement provisions, a public hearing is required. You guys can take it away from there for discussion or request public comment.
Anybody have any comment about that ordinance that we're going to pass?
Just having another public meeting in the future, is this the public meeting for it?
What's that?
Sorry, did you say you're having another public meeting in the future for it, or is that this?
No, that's this one. They're going to pass the ordinance.
This is the public hearing.
Okay.
Did that one eliminate town burning? Complete
Trash.
Just trash.
And solid waste.
Just burn barrels, etc.
And solid waste, yeah.
Don't burn your tires in your driveway, Dave.
Okay, there's been no comment.
Okay, I would just move to ask you all to move the public hearing on ordinance number 2026-3.
Okay, I'll move that we close that particular meeting for that, and we'll go for 2026-4.
The public hearing on 2026-4 would be on the ordinance short titled, an ordinance of the town council of the town of Monroe, Indiana, establishing local traffic regulations concerning through truck traffic and engine brake use on certain roadways. As you all know, as it was introduced last regular meeting, this would just be related to prohibiting or restricting engine brakes of large commercial trucks on West 50 South, which is South Adams Street, North Van Buren, and South Van Buren within the incorporated limits of the town of Monroe. So just ask for public comment or discussion on the same.
Anybody have any comment they'd like to bring on that one? Okay. Well, we'll close that meeting then. And we'll go with 2026-5.
2026-5, the public hearing would be on the ordinance short titled, an ordinance of the town council of the town of Monroe, Indiana, annexing certain real estate and permanent right-of-way area associated with South Van Buren Street into the corporate limits of the town of Monroe. As previously discussed, there is a section of South Van Buren Street that half of it used to be owned and maintained by the county. Based on discussions and approval by the town has been taking on maintenance, and thereby the county provided them permanent right-of-way. In order for us to properly put that into our road inventory, it needs to be annexed into the town. At the last county commissioners meeting, I requested that they consent to said annexation, and on their public record they did so. So again, asking for any public comment or questions.
Anybody?
Is this on the east side of the road, Clayton?
Yes.
The east side, okay.
Right.
And about 600 feet or so, or 700?
It's more than that.
Okay. East, a few hundred feet, okay.
Okay, so there's no comment. We'll close that meeting. And I will open up our regular business meeting for town.
So those ordinances are all final now?
Not until they adopt them at the regular meeting.
Yeah, okay. The attorney will introduce that again when it's his time. New business, okay. Justin, what do you got for new business?
more roadway annexations for you to consider. So much like South Van Buren, 50 South, right by Brett, right by his house. I sent you an aerial of that and how that's broken up. So that intersection only, the red line is the town limits. We could petition the county again to take that other half, so that when we resurface Adams Street, we can go around and stop at the town limits. So that would be one part. The other part would be similar to what South Van Buren would be, a little more to the extent of longevity, continuing on 50 South to 27 and annexing the roadway and right-of-way, and then also from the north town limits of North Van Buren to 100 North. So conversation with Clayton about how does that help the town in the future for growth. It would help the town for growth, plus it plays into our conversation we had last week with Steve Bailey, with the, what was it?
Steve Bailey, county commissioner.
Yeah.
So,
You talked about fringe jurisdiction, which again, I don't think we necessarily, you guys provided me with any authority to move forward on, because it is a pretty hefty research topic, but, yeah, because I think it would also include, given that we abide by county zoning, in order for you to exert fringe jurisdiction, you also have, as a municipality, you have to have your own zoning.
Yeah.
So it'd be,
so it wouldn't really benefit us on that at all.
well, there's an extra step, a big extra step we have to take in between
Right.
here and getting fringe jurisdiction.
So it's something, I guess it's something to think about. Not really. The one that we probably should act on for the road improvements end of it would be just the intersection where 50 South and South Adams Street come around the curve from the western town limits up to the right-of-way butting up against Brett's house.
Until we get more direction on.
And then moving forward, that squares up the roads and the right-of-way portion of things, so that when we pave, we're paving our streets and not only half.
Right, yeah.
What is that, Clayton? It's a survey, and then what we just went through, an annexation, the county would have to sign off on it.
Right, it would be the same.
Just the same process, and then, I'm just trying to submit all this at one time. If we're gonna do South Van Buren, we probably ought to just do 50 South and Adams Street and get that fixed, and then add them both to the mileage at the same time.
How much
South
time do you
Van
think
Buren
you
is on the
have
list.
researching that as far as the fringe?
Jurisdiction. I could probably get, a good amount of research done. The hard part is, it's not just research of fringe jurisdiction, but also just providing you all with an outline of the statutory process related to creating a zoning ordinance and zoning enforcement as a town. Altogether, probably a total of 5 hours of work.
Do you think that's a conversation we should have with like Adams County as far as what their plans are around this area? You don't think that they would put up an industry close to Monroe to where we need to worry about that, do you?
Well, the county itself is never going to put up an industry, but it just, again, the fringe jurisdiction just gives the smaller municipality a little bit more of a say within that area. And instead of, again, going to the planning commission when the zoning change is requested, which generally in the county, if you ask for some type of a zoning change, say you're going from agricultural to commercial, or residential small family, or any of them, you have to go before the planning commission. They then provide a do recommend or do not recommend to the commissioners, who still, even in this instance, would have the final say. Instead, if you're exerting fringe jurisdiction and it falls within our fringe, and they're asking for a zoning change, they come before you all, and you guys take the place of the planning commission there. You then would all provide a vote of aye, A, or nay to the commissioners who would still, it just provides that little bit of an extra security, the town and related to town growth. I mean, so you never necessarily know. I mean, that you always run that risk. The only thing is, the town right now is all abides by simply the county's zoning. So when someone wants to, even in up the field across the river, if they wanted to change that zoning, they would only have to abide by the county requirements.
So if they wanted to zone it for, like, let's just say, hot topic right now is the AI centers, the data centers.
Okay.
Like, we would right now not have any say whether or not they could put that right there.
No, not any say as in from a municipal body standpoint. Obviously, you three would have a say in coming and speaking before the planning commission and commissioners if you had thoughts, but no, that would go before the planning commission. Possibly in that situation, also the building and zoning appeals authority, which is a separate body, and the commissioners.
Yeah.
I think we should just.
The thought crossed my mind, and I asked Clayton about it. I thought it was worth some thought, but I mainly checked on just that corner. Adams Street is moving, I'll be resurfacing Adams Street here into the next couple of years, so.
I mean, I think we definitely need to do at least the bare minimum there as far as.
Get it to the south side of the road and square that up.
Yeah.
How many properties are affected by that annexation?
One. It's not even a property that's affected. It's just a road.
I was gonna say, it's just a road.
It's just the roadway.
Yeah.
Half the road to the end, like half the road's ours, up to the east side of Adams Street. And so part of that curve, half of that curve is ours, half of it's the.
The real question is, do we survey it just for that little bit, or do we survey for the rest of it? And thoughts of getting with him to do.
We can do that down the road too. I've never really driven that road to look to see the condition of it, so what I have driven, I don't think it's too terrible. And same way with North Van Buren, it's not in bad shape. The bridge would remain the county's because of its size, and that's actually getting redone this year. So, but that was more food for thought. That's why I brought it up, especially with the talk with friends last month. So if you want, I can go ahead and just talk to Brett, have him get a survey done for that little chunk of roadway so that we can at least get that into our.
That's how I feel. We should just at least do the section row so that way you can do both sides as opposed to just one side. I'll make a motion to have Justin get with Brett on that to get that surveyed.
I'll second.
All in favor?
We did do sewer inspections. I haven't seen the video yet. I need to reach out to the company that did it. It's on some sort of portal that I haven't gotten any instructions from them on yet, so look at that and see what they found. Verbal from the guy that did the camera work was the inspections would be better off done through clean outs and not main lines. So whatever that means, I don't know that I'm really going to fully understand it until I can see the video as to what he's referring to. I don't know if I ever brought this up. Polk Street, we're looking at possibly chip sealing that later this summer. It is going to need that for the short term until we redo that road, just to keep it from breaking up. The county's going to be doing their end later this year, and probably just run it together. I've kind of reached out to them and talked to them a little bit about it, but it's not something that we're looking to do for a long term. It's not going to stay like that forever, but it is to keep the road from falling apart. And then
It seems to give us a little bit more time too.
I've seen how that works. It's not too terribly bad.
What's the timeline for that project?
We won't do that until after the 124 project's done.
No, I'm talking about the chip and seal.
It'll be later on this summer. I don't have it.
Can it be after the fair?
Oh, it'll be definitely after the fair.
Okay.
It'll be like probably August, September.
Okay. That works.
Which CCMG, they had a start date of the 28th. It started the 18th, then they pushed it to the 28th. Then he said he might get in early. Then they don't know when they're gonna get in because their crews were backed up with weather. Now they got one crew that's pretty much caught up, but their concrete crew's running still behind, so they don't want to interfere with the fair. So that probably isn't gonna start. I'm not gonna say it won't start, but it probably won't start until after the fair. So, as I find out more, there's so much in the air with that right now. Once I find out more, I'll let you know. And then sewer rates. Did you read through the last 3 months of information on all the sewer rate stuff that we dug into? And the most recent, with the last 2 months of stuff I left in there so you could refresh. And then what the increase was from burn, which was actually 15%. And then what the recommendation would be based on what little bit of information Baker Tilly had to go off of with no current rate study, the 4 to 7%. And so I don't know, 5.5 to 6% would probably be the recommendation. And then in like 2 years, get a study done and revisit it to make sure we're doing okay. But there is work going on the force main this summer that's gonna run us several $1,000s. And Burn reevaluates their rates annually, so that'll come back around for evaluation again next year. And sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down.
So we were thinking about 3%
3 to 5
until Burn decided, and to keep it to where we're even, right? It has to be 6%.
They said 7% on the high side, 4% on the low side. It all depended on what we had in the plans. So once we get this force main vault installed and we get to try that cleaning method, if that works, we'll install more of those, one at a time. I've been going slow at it, probably slower than I should have, but I know that it takes money and we don't want to burn through our reserve fund and be left with nothing in case something worse happens. So it's been a little bit here, a little bit there.
In this agreement, we're locked in for, what did I say, 40 years?
40 years.
So is this a question for Baker Tilly?
I already talked to them.
What increase for sure?
I already sent them the information based off the burn increase, and they looked into the old stuff that they had on us from the last increase on our sewer. And they're saying if we don't have anything, if we don't have a whole lot of stuff that we need to do, then the lower end would be good. But if there's foreseen high expenditures, then you go a little to the higher side. So I was hoping to stay kind of in the middle, since I think we're actually better off than what we thought we were after some previous emails and conversations with them. We were thinking that we were a little worse off on the sewer than what we were, so.
Did you talk to Bert about future rate increases?
It's reviewed annually.
Just like
So So they review it every year to see where they're at on their treatment costs, and
So our cost to them is increasing how much?
15%.
15%.
It's actually only like 22 cents, but it's 15%.
Is that per 100?
Per thousand.
If we raised our 6% per 1,000, how much increase is that gonna be per taxpayer?
That I couldn't tell you.
Could that be calculated by the next meeting?
Do you think you want to table this until the next meeting?
I want to table it,
I'm with you on that.
because we're raising rates.
Yeah.
And we're already gonna raise the rates 3%.
Baker Tilly's not gonna be able to give us anything solid without a current study. That's pretty much what they're.
But we should know what a 6% increase would cost.
She has the rates.
Yeah, which by the next meeting, we could have that. I just, we're gonna raise it 3%, now we're saying 6%, which is double.
Well, that was before I was unaware of the rate increase that we got from Burnham, so.
I would just like to see what it is,
Yep, no, I agree.
because I'm not in the business of making money, but again, we have to have money there in case something happens.
Within reason, yeah.
Yes. We gotta buy pipe, whatever, to fix something.
The issues on the force main could be a little bit more severe than that. Like, when you talk catastrophic.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm hoping the clean out that we're gonna put in, I really hope it works. We'll find out here soon.
If it don't, what are we talking?
I'll have to reach out to the engineers and see if they've got ideas. This was a lengthy conversation and meeting with them, asking what they thought of the idea. And they were wanting to put 2 of them in and pump it through. I'm hoping that we don't have to do 2 of them on each ditch crossing and that our pumps can push it without extra. So the only way to find out is to do 1. And then if you've got $15,000 to $20,000, which is what it'll end up being, in 1, then you're gonna have it on each one, you're gonna have $20,000 to $35,000 for 2 of them for ditch crossing. Which is why we've been slow going at it. I got the parts, I just got to get the bolt. I'm waiting on an access hatch, and then I'm going to deliver that to the concrete fab place, Midwest Tile. I'm going to deliver that, and just wait for them to call me and tell me it's ready to pick up. So.
Okay.
Yeah, outside of that, I don't really have anything else to bring up. Oh, wait, I do. Part of the ADA and is it Title 11, Clayton? Discrimination, Title 9.
Or top ADA,
For like,
litany of them.
well, we have no horse hitching posts in any parking lot, in anywhere. So we're gonna have to figure out where we can put horse hitching posts.
That's not,
Right now,
that's title, that's not ADA, but I
no,
understand.
it's not ADA, but it falls in the same wheelhorse for CCMG stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about, like in the new parking lot?
No, right now I saw them hooked up to the telephone pole in the empty lot all right there where the elevator used to be. There was 3 of them tied to that pole. And that is a thoroughfare, it is an active alley, and they're in the alleyway, like literally in the drive lane. Nobody could get through without going around. And I'm sure AEP, if they saw it, they would not like the fact.
Well, that's not a parking lot anyway.
So, they had an event going on at the 4-H grounds, which I was told was a horse auction. And so there was a bunch of Amish in town, and I don't know if everything was full everywhere else, but
Yeah, it was a mess on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, they were everywhere.
so, yeah, we gotta do something. Based on what we're held to, we have to have something for them to hitch to.
Yeah, but they don't have to, that's an alley, that's not a parking lot. I can understand the parking lot right there, our public parking lot, we can probably put something there, but that's not a parking lot.
When you got 6 Amish horses,
I don't care.
you can't hitch 6 Amish horses in a parking lot that's gonna be packed full of cars. It's gonna have to be separate from the parking lot that we maintain. So I'm just saying.
Most of the parking lots around here are gonna be local businesses.
Yeah.
One thing that I considered and thought about was, we got 20-foot right-of-way and easement on the east side of that empty lot. We could put posts right in there and they could hitch to it. If that area ever ended up getting turned into an active roadway, then that would have to be moved again. But right now, it is our right-of-way.
But is that somebody's property?
Yeah,
No, it's.
yes, because it's 20 foot off of our metal fence. I live in that house right next to where that granary used to be.
No, but they wouldn't be, it would be between the Zerker's lot and the right-of-way. It would be
Okay,
down that
Isn't
line.
it 20 feet off of my metal fence where I live?
It's 20 feet
That's the
off of
alley?
your property line.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
starting at the property line,
Okay.
20 feet west
Okay,
is right-of-way.
right, that's the alley.
It doesn't show on the map.
I don't know.
You can't go off the map because the county map is wrong a lot. So
Okay.
I'm just pointing that out because I saw your
Well, the
picture.
only thing is though, what I'm saying, if you put a hitching post there, we're gonna have the same problem that we did when the granary was there. We're gonna have constant poop and everything, and I don't want that.
I'm gonna work with some people on this.
Okay.
This isn't cut and dry today.
Right.
But I talked to Scott about this
My other
already.
question for you is, Justin, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your meeting. Okay, if that is technically the alley, then the school bus really should not be parking there if that is considered an alley, correct?
And that's, yes, no, you're right.
Okay.
It has to be addressed.
Okay.
It's not been used as an alley as of right now.
Correct, yes, I know
But we have that ability to
Right.
change that.
Right,
So, but if we turn it and not make it as an alley, but give the Amish a
The
place
driveway and stuff.
to hitch their horses,
okay,
then we fix that portion of it.
okay.
But it would be to the
Yeah,
west
more
side of
towards
that
the-
right
More
of way.
towards Zerkers versus coming more towards our house.
It's either that or it stays 5 feet or so off of your fence and they can only hitch
Okay,
to the west.
yeah, because I know the hitching post used to be like what, not that far away from where the granary used to be.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it was sitting in the back and the
Yeah.
water main went through there and
Yes.
we had to remove it.
Yes.
And so it never got put back and I talked to the liquor store and I said, hey, I'm gonna lay this over here and they come to you
Yes,
a lot.
that's-
And he never put it back up.
Because sometimes there's a lot of traffic, like in that area where the bus is set, when the truck from Monroe Package has trouble getting in there. But, you know,
Right.
the semi, I don't know who semi it is in that bus, that's why I'm just kind of concerned with that.
Right. No, you're right. That bus, right now we've not said anything about it.
Right.
There's things that have to change.
Right.
So we got to figure out the Amish hitching place. We got to figure out some other stuff. They're going to have to figure out where to park the
I'll talk to you
bus.
about another situation after this meeting.
Okay.
Executive session.
Okay, sorry,
I
guys.
agree with that.
So I was going to work, Scott Skinner told me that he would help out with this. and make sure that it did stay clean, you know, however we get this done. But, per law, we're gonna have to supply and provide something.
Do we have like township or town-owned parking lots?
We have just one.
So that should be where it should be at.
That's,
Provided parking.
yeah.
Everything else is private property or an easement or a roadway. Now,
But it's not, where I'm talking is not really an alley, it's not really a road, it's a right of way. And it's gravel, and they're accessing, they can access everything from there if ever, you know, if it gets too full. That would be my suggestion, and.
That town lot, Mike, that downtown by the restaurant?
Yes.
That's the one, okay, right, okay.
And you're saying that Scott Skinner's willing to?
He would make sure that it stayed clean.
Is that something that you think he would have a conversation with us on?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Scott's a super nice guy. But I talked to him about it, and he'd given me some ideas, and I said, well, let me talk to the board. I said, because we have to have something, but figuring out the right place to have it is one thing. Okay.
Well, we don't have to provide parking for the whole
We don't have to provide parking.
If you get 25 Amish buggies in the parking lot and there's 25 spaces, then.
I mean, if I have a hitching post for 3, then
That's 3 spots. That would be 3 parking spots in the parking lot.
then we've done our part.
And I don't know what the requirement is. Is there a requirement, Clayton, as the number of spots you have to accommodate?
You're asking, off the top of my head, I'm gonna have to, I doubt it. I mean, yeah, it's more of a potential argument of discrimination. So it's not, you know, I doubt there's a quantifiable number of you must have this many spots, because it's a pretty nuanced issue in very few areas of the country,
We've
so.
never really had to tackle this before.
Right. But I mean, I'll look into it to let you all know what the exact amount or how many seem reasonable.
I might be able to find out just by calling NDOT and talking to them based on their requirements for CC&G. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you can,
That's what we have to have for our grants, so we need to stay up on that.
yeah.
So I'll see what I can figure out and bring it back to you. I wanted to make you aware. So. Okay. I don't have anything else.
Is that all you guys have?
I'm done.
Okay. Town marshal, do we have anybody representing Grover?
Oh, he's back to make a.
He's sleeping.
What you need?
Do you have anything you want to report from the town marshal's office?
There's nothing.
That's all I did today.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Thanks, Grover. All right.
Quiet town, yeah.
Well, the next one, I guess, will be the attorney, because the fire department's not here tonight, so.
Yeah, I would just first reintroduce, as was introduced at the public hearing, which would be ordinance number 2026-3, short title, the ordinance prohibiting open burning of trash and solid waste within the town limits of the town of Monroe. If no other discussion, I'd ask the council to entertain a vote, or motion and vote on adopting said ordinance.
I'll open it up. Anybody?
Yep, I'll make a motion to accept 2026-3.
I'll say it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's passed. Next one?
Next, I'll introduce for adoption ordinance number 2026-4. which is titled an ordinance of the Town Council of the Town of Monroe, Indiana, establishing local traffic regulations concerning through truck traffic and engine brake use on certain roadways within the town, again, 2026-4. Open for discussion or motion thereon for adoption.
I'll make a motion to pass 2026-4, local traffic.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0, pass. Next one.
Last one would be ordinance number 2026-5, which was previously introduced at public hearing as an ordinance of the Town Council of the Town of Monroe, Indiana, annexing certain real estate and permanent right-of-way area associated with South Van Buren Street into the corporate limits of the Town of Monroe, Indiana.
I'll make a motion to accept 2026-5.
All in favor? Okay, pass 3-0. Anything else for us, Clayton?
Not necessarily agenda, but I had previously issued to all of you earlier this week a final form of the proposed town employee policy/handbook. Didn't know if you all had any questions or if you guys are in a place where you would want a motion to approve that as well and adopt it.
I want to table this until July.
I'd like to table it too because the email that I received, there's sections that you have in there that were missing.
So that's what I said in that file.
So, well, I took a picture of it here. And maybe it's just my phone, I don't know.
I will say, were you opening it up on your phone?
Yeah.
I have encountered that a lot. I mean, even in my practice, like if I try to open up a Word document and it's an attachment on my phone, it has very odd or broken spacing. So
Maybe that's it.
I can try again though. I could maybe try to send it in a PDF version.
Okay.
Is that a document that's going to be available to the public?
It's for the handbook,
Okay.
so I mean,
Is that going to be available to the public?
I need to, yes.
Anything that we have like that is usually put on the site, should be.
Yeah, sure it is.
Boy, handbook.
It can go up, yeah.
I would say it doesn't need to go up until changes have been made.
Correct.
And it's been approved.
You're tabling it until July.
Yes.
I don't have anything further. Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, Rachel, do you have anything?
I don't.
Okay. We have some people out in the audience.
I'll start. Good evening. My name is Mike Miller, owner and general manager of Shaka Shack downtown. Before I fully begin here, my wife is Danielle. She is providing copies of a document packet to board members, town attorney, clerk, and members of the press. The packet includes maps, photographs, meeting transcript excerpts, correspondence regarding my request for ordinance 2026-1, the ordinance itself, and relevant sections of the manual on uniform traffic control devices, or the ABTCD. As I reference items during my comments, I may refer to pages within the packet so everyone can follow along. So I'm here tonight regarding the one-way eastbound traffic designation established under section 4.6 of ordinance 2026-1, affecting the east-west alley between Washington Street and Jackson Street, and between Polk Street and Van Buren Street. It's on page 1. I also want to acknowledge up front, I'm not an attorney or a traffic engineer. I'm simply a business owner directly affected by this change who spent the last 2 weeks trying to understand why this decision was made, how it was made, and what problem it was intending to solve. That effort involved requesting documents, reviewing board meeting records, reviewing meeting transcripts, reading the ordinance itself, reviewing Indiana statutes, and reviewing portions of the MUTCD that the ordinance specifically requires the town to follow. That process revealed what I believe is a much larger issue than just a one-way alley. That's communication. Over the last 2 weeks, the town has been aware that residents had concerns regarding this ordinance. The town has been aware that the affected residents and business owners intended to attend tonight's meeting. The town has been aware that questions were being raised publicly, and the town has been aware that copies of the ordinance were being requested. Yet to the best of my knowledge, no one from the town reached out to explain why section 4.6 was adopted the way it was, what problem it was intended to solve, or how the new traffic pattern was expected to function, or why just this particular alley was selected. Instead, residents were left to piece together information from meeting recordings, meeting transcripts, ordinance requests, newspaper articles, social media discussions, and their own observations. I spent at least 15 hours trying to understand this issue. Even then, it took approximately 8 days after my request before I received a copy of the ordinance itself. That's on page 8. I'm not trying to criticize any individual employee. I understand that there are operational difficulties, but I'm saying this because it takes that much effort for somebody who's directly affected, an affected business owner and affected residents, to understand a traffic change that is affecting business and property access. That's a communication problem. The reality is that most people on Monroe do not attend board meetings. They don't watch the meeting recordings that you started, 8 months ago, putting on YouTube. Most people don't read ordinances. They only become aware of a town decision when it directly affects them. Many people are unaware this board even exists. I speak to between 50 and 500 people every day, including upstanding community-involved adults who are unaware that there's any more government in this town beyond Rachel, the fire department, and Justin. Citizens certainly have a responsibility to stay informed on their own, but local government also has a responsibility to make a reasonable effort to communicate significant changes that affect the people who live and work here. The lack of communication surrounding section 4.6 is exactly why we're here tonight. So before I get to the rest of my comments, I would like a direct answer to one question. Was section 4.6 designation adopted in anticipation of the upcoming State Road 124 project? No. Okay. So, if ordinance 26-1 was not adopted because of the State Road 124 project, then I return to what I believe is the most important question of the evening. What specific problem was section 4.6 intended to solve? After reviewing the ordinance itself, meeting transcripts, and supporting materials I was able to obtain, I can't answer that question. The ordinance contains general language regarding traffic control, public safety, traffic flow, and emergency access. However, it contains no specific findings to this location. It does not identify crash history, traffic studies, engineering analysis, sightline concerns, emergency vehicle conflicts, traffic counts, citizen complaints, or any other objective basis for selecting this particular alley to be the only one way. So I'd like a direct answer tonight. What specific problem existed on this alley that required a one-way eastbound designation, and what evidence supported that conclusion? Before a solution can be justified, there should be a clearly identified problem. I would also like to understand why this particular alley was selected while others were not. There are other alleys in Monroe that appear operationally similar. Some appear narrower, yet they were not designated one way. So I'd like to know, what objective criteria were used to select section 4.6 alley for one-way traffic? Was the decision based on roadway width, traffic volume, safety concerns, emergency access, engineering review, citizen complaints, sightline issues, or some other documented standard? Because that rationale is not apparent from the ordinance itself. The implementation has also created practical conditions, page 1 through 5. At the same time, the route many drivers would naturally attempt to use involves private property, as we were just discussing. Section 4.6 specifically references the property owned by HGB Realty. So I would like clarification regarding what the town considers the intended legal circulation route for residents, customers, delivery vehicles, service vehicles, refuse collection, and emergency responders. That route is not obvious from the implementation itself or of the ordinance. I'd also like to address the MUTCD requirements that the town incorporated directly into the ordinance. That's pages 10 through 15. The ordinance requires compliance with the manual on uniform traffic control devices. So included in that packet is section 1D.01, which states traffic control devices should fulfill a need, convey a clear meaning, command attention, and provide road users with adequate time to respond. Section 1D.02 addresses agency responsibility for design, placement, operation, maintenance, and uniformity. Section 1D.03 addresses engineering judgment and engineering studies as the basis for traffic control decisions. Section 2B.46 addresses do not enter signage where drivers might otherwise enter a one-way roadway incorrectly. Section 2B.49 addresses one-way signage. Section 2A.13 addresses sign placement and the need for drivers to recognize and respond appropriately. Section 2C.38 addresses new traffic pattern signs with significant changes are made to establish traffic flow. I'm not here to debate legal interpretations or technical engineering standards. However, because the ordinance itself relies upon MUTCD compliance, there are several questions that are entirely reasonable. So, was there an engineering study done?
Well, first of all, this is the public comment section, so I will let you all know, for one, and you can, however you want. You have no duty to even answer during public comment sections, just to be fair.
I would like to know where you're coming from, like, I don't have a problem answering your question, but what is so upsetting? I mean, it's not like you're not getting use of the alley, you're still using the alley. So.
Okay, so the section on the front page, the blue Town of Monroe owned property, that becomes the only legal access for us to get it.
No, it doesn't. I already told you, there is a 20-foot right-of-way where the bus parks. That is town-owned, that is not correct on the map. You cannot go by the county map all the time. It's not always right.
So we're about transparency.
That's not my fault. You
I
took
know,
it off
but-
of an incorrect map.
I understand.
Rather than making a phone call, that's not my fault.
And as far as, I heard that you guys were coming. And as far as making a comment on Facebook,
I wasn't saying Facebook, I mean,
I'm just saying
12 hours a day, I'm in my store downtown.
like, I would rather see you face to face and have a conversation than have a bunch of speculation on a text.
Okay.
No, that's where I was coming from.
But there's no communication from this board to the town, like, nobody knows you guys exist.
I've been on the fire department for 12 years.
I know, but.
I've been around. I've worked at Zerkers for 15.
Okay.
He's worked at Zerkers for 42 years.
What about the people around town though? They have
I'm sorry,
no-
I'm not famous.
Like, when I say, oh yeah, there's a board meeting, they're like, we have a board? Who's on that board?
Well, here's the thing. It's in the papers, it's on the radio, it's communicated, it's on Facebook, it's all over. If you choose to look, it's right on the web.
No offense to you, sir, in the front row, or it's on what, the Burn Witness, is it Decatur Daily Democrat? Okay, so what's the circulation of that?
We're around
Like 2,000 for the county, approximately. 900 people in Monroe. It's on the radio.
So what is your expectation when you say communication? So we've covered almost every form of media now. We've talked about Facebook, social media, right?
Where was it on Facebook?
I don't post it on Facebook. I never have gotten into that habit, so I just don't do it.
Is it on our website that regular meetings are held
Yes.
every first Thursday of the month?
Yes.
Okay, so internet, we have newspaper, it's on the radio. So to be fair, to be very fair, the only thing statutorily that they have to do right now is advertise in the paper. And now, since July of 2025, they have to stream it live on YouTube, and they don't even necessarily have to leave them up on YouTube, but they have to be streamed live when able. Technical difficulties is an exception.
Okay.
We've been complying with that. So, what is your expectation then above and beyond the statutory requirement?
I mean,
Door to door?
well, the statutory requirement is the bare minimum. This is a town of 900 people where we try to be a community.
Okay, and so but I'm asking, you're here arguing with them in a public meeting and bringing that up. So I want a specific answer from you. Is what is your expectation? How specifically do you believe that they are to communicate better rather than just generally saying communicate better? You don't have an answer, do you? I mean, fair enough. I'm not, and I apologize for.
People who live there.
I apologize.
How did she know? She didn't know this board exists. It affects her where she drives, him and his business where he drives.
I call
They didn't know
it.
how
I'll tell you right
to-
now,
And it's only posted at one intersection. There's not a do not enter,
And
so
I mean,
you don't
fair enough,
know.
but I don't mean to come at you. I'm asking for. I mean,
You don't know if you're entering the wrong way from the one way because
Yeah.
literally it's only at her intersection is where it's posted. It's one way. You can come in the alley from the other direction. I have no idea.
Zero, you come off
we're
triple
conflating
zero,
two.
that do not intersection, people are going the one way, and if they're coming off of 000, they're not knowing that they're going to go the wrong way, that's
So,
what I'm saying.
and
Yeah.
to just hold briefly, I asked that question, and I know I raised my voice a little bit, I apologize for that. I think that the best, obviously, other than when I get a little bit feisty, even as an attorney, my operative is always to find a solution. So I would be asking, if you think that there's a better way that they can communicate, bring a specific proposal as to how they should be specifically communicating with town residents. And I think that will, at a minimum, they are all three some of the best listeners I've ever worked with. They will, at a minimum, listen. They listen to any and all concerns that any residents have ever come. Both of the gentlemen that sit here every week with me from the paper will tell you that. And understanding, and I didn't mean to not go into the topic that you guys were talking about, the signage. I mean, that's a separate issue, and I'm sure Justin can address that more because he would have been the one that installed it. But I just think, I mean, in all fairness to these gentlemen up here that, you know.
Well, it's
I have a question then. So, regardless of the transparency, because it's posted, but if we had gone back and looked, which we did, at the transcripts, and if we had known that that was going to be an issue, that going to be turned into a one-way, we would have been here beforehand. But going back, because we can't attend every single meeting, we went back and looked. I mean, we've been at meetings when that corner has been addressed, because that is a corner where people fly through. It is a concern, so the yield makes sense.
That was the reason all this got
Wait,
brought
I'm
up.
not done.
I apologize.
The one way is what doesn't make sense. But that's not anywhere in any transcript. That's not in when we go back and look
It was
at the
never
video.
mentioned.
It's never mentioned. So how can
Never said
we
verbally.
do our due diligence and watch it online if it's not mentioned? How would I know that I need to be here? To be like, hey, wait, what about this one way? It affects me how I drive every day. Because it's not there. That's what we're saying. So we just want to know, why was that decision made in the first place? Like, did someone make a complaint? Was there an accident? What happened to cause that?
What
That's
problem
what
are you trying to solve?
Yeah, what are we trying to solve here? But we get the yield, because the yield for sure, we're totally behind. It's the one way, and we didn't know that was ever even in the works, because it just appeared with the yield. So that's what we here are questioning.
And I would say as a resident, like myself back there, if I take my camper back there, they used to park in the driveway, I cannot go out east and make the corners.
Because of your camper, you can't make
I
that turn.
cannot exit the alley in one way. I
And the
have to
other thing is though too, I've lived there for over 20 years in Monroe, and the alley's never been a major problem, except for people flying through there now, people go very, and then flying through about hit my husband's garage.
Yeah.
So I get the whole yield thing, but until we put something down there at the end of that alley that says do not enter, we are going to cause accidents.
There's the post.
I was waiting on some stuff.
But my thing is though, as a 20+ year residence down there, I come off of 124 to come home from work. Now I gotta go all the way around the block to come up between the hair salon and Zerkers, where it's nothing but potholes.
Yep.
I have a brand new car to be able to get to my back parking. And that's my major complaint. Or we're gonna have to come through the gravel alley or the gravel parking lot next to our garage to get to our public, our parking in the back. 'Cause I don't park out front. None of my family parks out front.
Now, I could be sympathetic to that situation in yours, Greg, right? But whenever we're sitting here, we have people complaining about the traffic going through, and we're
Right.
trying to make an honest decision to
Yeah.
slow things down. It's not an attack.
Yeah.
Like, it's trying. Like, if you would've came in here and you said, hey, I can't make that turn, there would've been a totally different conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
absolutely. And then, the problem is you start seeing stuff on Facebook and seeing the animosity that people are putting towards it. It just would have showed up and let's had a conversation.
Which I did have a pretty lengthy conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I wish that would have happened first.
Right.
And
But
definitely.
will there be a sign put down at that after
There's more
that
signs
alley?
going up.
Or can we remove the one way? Is that a possibility?
Yeah.
Can we request an appeal or a repeal on this, or at least consideration of repealing the one?
There was a reason for the one way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what problem is it intending to solve?
I guess I have,
It shows up on one of the maps. I can't remember which one I saw as a street. It's going to get fixed. That is going to get fixed.
is
So
it
on Google
anything?
Maps, it's called Center Street.
Center Street?
And that's where, okay, Google Maps is where it was at.
Mm-hmm.
It's Yes, it's
Google Maps.
gonna be a road. It's treated like a road. It's
Yeah.
used like a road. It is the busiest alley in all of Decatur, or in all
Hey,
Monroe.
Justin, when did the sign go up? When was it posted?
2 Fridays ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But with the one-way
yeah.
signs though, they should not have gone up before the do not enter sign at the park.
Yeah.
I did meet with Nathan about it. He looked at it. I said, I got some parts coming that I need, and then that sign goes up. He said, you get the do not enter sign up. He said, everything else looks to be okay.
Yeah, but they're still running it though, they're not stopping, they're still.
They're not stopping, no one's enforcing it.
Jackson,
Okay.
same person, vice versa.
But the problem is now enforcement.
Yeah.
A sign is a sign unless it's enforced.
But can you like put do not enter signs like coming off of Jackson to go off of 124, you know what I'm saying though? Because if you say, okay, you have
Off of Jackson.
left turn, you're coming off of 124, okay? And you can't turn right, you gotta go left, but they can still go straight through. So you need like a do not enter sign stating that they can't go through straight through Jackson, you see what I'm saying? You got your one
But the
way.
north and south is not one way.
North and south, you can still go straight through, but you can just turn left, okay?
Yeah, the
That's
only
where we're
road
all
that's one way is
Just can't go.
the east-west road.
Okay, this is where we're all confused here, because we're watching people just blow through these things, we're like, well, okay.
And there are much narrower alleys in town that are not one. They're not included. And so, are we gonna make them all one way?
Those alleys aren't used like roads. You got a school bus using it every day.
Okay.
You got all the businesses downtown using it with semis and whatever to drop stuff off. That's why it became one way, for safety concerns.
There's no semi-tractor that can go past to the east, down my end of the alley, and make a turn. That will not happen.
They don't come that way.
No, they
Is this
don't.
the alley beside your shower shack?
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
behind it.
They're moving utility poles.
I don't know where it is here.
Taking parking away from the end down there by that garage.
I don't know what kind of trucks deliver to the liquor store anymore for one.
It's a semi truck, that actually backs into
Yeah.
by the door.
Yeah, they cannot make that turn.
Yeah, they can't make it, they'll pull through the gravel and then they just back up, if the school bus is there, they have issues of trying to get around and not hit that pole like what was a couple years ago when that semi hit that pole. Yeah,
That's why I usually have to back down from Zerkers in my alley with my camper to get in there with it, so it's not out front. It's only one way in, one way out. There's no.
And you brought up enforcement. We call 911, and if there's not a life and death emergency, the county does not dispatch anybody to us if Monroe officer's not working at that time. Like, we're told to call the police department and leave a voicemail. So, I had somebody threaten to attack me, and was obviously intoxicated. I called 911 to report it at 5 o'clock on a Friday morning. Heard nothing back until 9 o'clock Monday morning. Like, so where's the enforcement gonna come from? If we already don't have police on most of the time, the few hours that they're working, are they going to be sitting here watching in an alley to see if anybody's going the wrong way? Like, that's ridiculous. So you,
That's not the goal though, because I live in between two one-way streets and I see cars every day going the wrong way, every day.
So why add more? That's what we're saying. Can it be taken down? What's the point of?
Why add more?
Because why have more one ways if they're not gonna follow them anyway? They're just, no one, I can go the wrong way on this one way, I'll go the wrong way on this one way. That's ridiculous.
But I could drive the wrong way on the opposite side of the road. If you get away with it, then you get away with it.
That's not okay.
I didn't say it was okay, but I see it every day. I'm just saying I see it every day. And I'm not saying that this situation is special. It was all done out of safety, and it's not my call to repeal, but I'm just,
I'm asking these guys, will you at least consider repealing that, or at least, I don't know, like, doing some type of study, just figuring out, like, what is actually better. Like, I mean, I'm back there every day. You guys don't live at that intersection, you don't see it like we do. Yeah.
Yeah, we go off of what the superintendent tells us is a bad issue, all right? If he's telling us, hey, this is an issue, we gotta take that into consideration. If she's getting complaints from the townspeople, like, we have to take that into consideration, make that a decision. But if, Dan, and I'm sorry, your name is?
Jennifer Clue.
Jennifer, all right, so if you guys come to us and it's a big deal, then yeah, I'll definitely take a look at it and.
Okay. So it's a conversation that we can have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll have a conversation on that.
Okay.
I'll have a conversation with you. I'm a phone call away, but nobody likes to call. It goes on Facebook.
You guys have my phone number, I didn't receive a phone call.
I don't have your phone number.
Your wife does.
Do I still have it?
Yes.
Well, and also, like, that's, where's the right place to take that, personally to you, or bring it here to the group that makes the decisions? And that's kind of what we wanted to know too, all of us, was why it was made new, was like,
A
for
quick
safety
phone call
reasons.
to the
Like,
town councilman.
What happened there that wasn't safe? Because we were there, has there been an accident there?
No, but we have the little kids next door dart on into the alley.
Yeah.
And
Because
see, that's in my alleyway, behind my house, I have to change the way I do things now, because I can't make the turn behind my house in the alleyway because of the signs. I can't do it, so I gotta go all the way around. So I'm affected by it too, but the problem is, I know that the little 4 and 3-year-old next door doesn't look, and they run out into the alleyway all the time, and it scares me because I see people flying down this alleyway with golf carts, cars, trucks, and the utility place right behind my house. Those guys don't look, they don't care, they just point it. And then you got the construction equipment. There was a need for the signs, there was a need for a change. We took, that is a street, that's what we were told, it's considered a street, so that's why it was made a one-way. So,
if it's a street, then why don't we complete the street through the Zerkers from,
Oh, but it got abandoned. It got
Wasn't that one
abandoned.
time completely
If you
through?
look at the map, you can go all the way through. The street actually goes all the way from Walnut Street through the parking lot into us.
Okay.
Whenever the grain elevator was there, it was gravel,
Oh, yeah.
but
Oh, yeah.
it was
A thoroughfare.
Yeah.
It also comes back to, to officially reach you guys. Like, you say she has your phone number, that's a personal connection. That's not an official way to reach you. Do you have town emails? They're not posted online.
no, we do not.
So how am I supposed to contact you outside of this meeting?
You call me, and then I let them know. It's easy. It really is. I am available 24/7. 1 a.m., whatever.
I mean, do you want my email? I'll be happy to give it to you.
I would love it.
Yeah, it's jgeerken@gmail.com.
Yeah, the second town email?
That's my personal email.
You don't have a town email though?
I do not.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at. There's not an official way.
Well, the official way is through Rachel, who gets a hold of us. Because she's the figurehead because she's the clerk treasurer. She's the one that handles, she's the face. When you pay your bills for the water bill and so forth like that, she's the one that handles that. She's the one that gives us the information if we need it, whatever else may be the case. That's the way it's been all the time for here. Because I can guarantee you can try to get a hold of City of Decatur, I'm sure you can't get a hold of their councilman. I don't know if they've got a personal email or not. No,
Well, I've been here for 5 years. I haven't been here forever. I'm still learning how this town works.
I'm still learning too.
You guys got anything?
Yeah, I got one more question, Justin, this is for you. Can we get on with my neighbor about mowing her yard?
Yep, so here's how it has to happen.
Well, there's a story behind it, because about a month ago, we had to walk out on us. Because for the 26 years that we lived down there, we always mowed a strip on the side of our yard next to our land timbers. She's been down there 10 years now. A month ago, it was a problem, and we had to walk out on us. So the officer, I don't know who it was, because I was at work, came over and talked to her, and they said they don't mow their lawn within the 14 days that we're allowed to talk to you or the law enforcement to go down there and give them a warning.
I don't know if it's 14 days, but if it gets long,
That's what he told Mark, it was 14 days.
if it gets long, then I've said it in many other meetings, shoot me an email. Because then it's not we get a complaint, a written complaint, I make a file. I'll look at the whole block.
Okay. I'm just saying, she
Okay.
hasn't mowed almost in 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, I'm more than happy to look at it. Please send me an email.
I will, because like I said, we had to walk on us, we were doing a good favor by mowing that to keep our yard looking good, because, you know, we're good citizens, we keep our yard maintained at all times. So why aren't anybody else having to do it, especially with their fence is all broke up and their kids are darting out into the alley?
Yeah, I've told a bunch of different people, like, they'll make complaints and I'm like, just please send it to me.
Okay.
So to be fair, that's governed by the nuisance ordinance that the council passed back in 2025. So it's 2025-2. It is on the website because that's how I pulled it up. So
Okay.
tall grass is one of the types of nuisances. It says tall grass and weeds shall mean grass. It's defined as tall grass and weeds located within the town of Monroe. So obviously on anybody's property that exceeds 6 inches from the ground.
Well, that she needs to be then taking care of the weeds and everything else.
Now, like any nuisance ordinance, rather in my representation, for instance, of the county, because the county has a nuisance ordinance, all of the nuisance ordinances are always complaint-based, meaning what Justin is saying is there needs to be, from the resident, a complaint made to the town before they investigate it or have the town marshal investigate it, get with my office, see if it's not compliant with any of
Well,
the
we're not gonna
issues.
complain because I'm not a person to do that, but when she's got kids over there that can.
But that's why it's private.
Yeah.
Like,
You know.
your name is not thrown out
You
there.
can do it anonymously.
Okay, I can do, yeah, I've done it, I've talked to her
Yeah,
before.
That's why, like, I don't care who,
Okay.
like, I just make the file and this is the complaint. So then I go out and look at things.
Okay, well, I'm just.
Yeah, your name's not ever brought into it. Well, who come, one of
Well,
your
I heard
neighbors.
my name's brought into it because.
One of your
right now
neighbors.
we're not out with her anyway. And the other question is, I have, when the greenery got tore down, they left a utility pole by our metal fence, and we've called the utility company more than once to get rid of it, and
I
they
get-
still have not came down and did anything about it.
Alright,
So what do we do about that
I'll
situation?
get rid of it.
And the greenery's been gone, what, 2 years, almost 2 years?
I'll get rid of it. I had another one in an alleyway that the phone company was like, I don't know if they'll ever come get it, so if you can dispose of it, take it.
Okay, well, Mark said he was gonna cut it up, but he didn't wanna get in trouble.
Well, if he wants to cut it up, he can burn it too, I don't care.
Okay, that's fine, then I'll let him know then.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna raise a stink about it.
I do want to address the enforcement thing about the sheriff's department. That is per Sheriff Dan Mayhor. That is not on us. That is a concern of ours, in which we had him come to a meeting to explain why. And basically, it was told if it's an emergency, they will show up. And if it's not an emergency, they're just gonna have to wait till one of our officers gets there. And we don't have any control over it.
And I understand that. I'm not blaming you.
Yes,
But.
that's a concern of mine.
Yeah, it is, because I've also talked to another customer, came in and said, hey, I saw 3 kids going around breaking into people's cars. I called 911, and they said there was a Monroe officer working, so I had to call and leave a voicemail. That's how somebody's gonna get shot. Like, somebody's gonna take the law, the matter into their own hands.
And I would say this, instead of calling the police department, you have Facebook Messenger, message them on Facebook, instant message on Facebook, that goes to one of the officers immediately. So if they're not technically on duty, they can always respond from their house.
I appreciate that, like she said, it's good to know.
It's good to
Yeah.
know, but
I understand what you're thinking there.
that's insane.
That's
Good to
been
know.
an issue that we've been trying to take care of for years, a couple of years now.
Yeah.
That's something that,
So we didn't take that to the council, or the county council.
I think so.
Can that information be put on the town's website? Because we have a renter above us, she's a single female, she doesn't know that, and I know she's needed help before and hasn't been able to get a hold of anybody. That would be fantastic information to know.
I know it's been shared on our Facebook page.
But if that can be, if that can be posted
There-
somewhere on there, like if you can't get a hold of somebody, send a
Because
message to this and they can be there to
The
help.
police department has their own Facebook page.
Yeah.
And we basically shared it, pushed it, said that, and it's been all over about the instant message. But it can be put on the website again, just an instant message.
I've never seen that, and I follow the police department, I follow the town. Like, I've never seen those. And then, I mean, even with that, like, you still have to go back through, scroll down, like, I mean, maybe, was that 6 months ago, was it a year ago, who knows?
Rachel, can you put a message up, can you put something on the bills about it? Can you put something like that on that water bill? Is there enough room? You think?
We can do another little note, on things. Yeah.
When you, just for clarification's sake, and if you don't want to share this in a public meeting, you don't have to, we can talk after, but like, could you describe the incident? You called the police, like, was someone, like, was it, I mean, in your opinion, hey, I guess it would go into a legal analysis, in your opinion, was it an emergent situation? I mean, was somebody there?
Is it okay if I quote the gentleman directly? It's gonna have profanity.
Yeah, it's a quote.
Okay. He was at the gas station, 5 o'clock in the morning, sparked like an idiot. I just kind of looked at him, did one of these things. He throws his door open, he goes, "Come here, motherfucker, I'll beat your fucking ass." And somebody at 5 o'clock in the morning saying that to me, it sure doesn't seem like somebody who's fit to drive right now. So yes, I called to report that he was intoxicated, likely, or possibly, and it's assault, not battery, but it is assault, threatening to beat somebody's ass.
Right. I just wondered, and I think too, as the council members, I think that was last year, we had Sheriff Mayor come and discuss.
I think it was June.
I think though that's also something that I, in some of my other positions, I think I'll take to the sheriff as well and bring it back up with him, because I think that probably the issue is I need to probably, I will help get that addressed. I can assure you of that, because that's going to end up being a liability issue, more so eventually on potentially the sheriff if we don't get that handled. Because it sounds like it, sadly, and I don't know this process, so I appreciate this not being quoted, Eric. I'm just kidding.
Talk to Dan.
I'm kidding. It's on YouTube. I'll talk to him about it, because what it sounds like, sadly, is that there may be, an individual or individuals or employees of the sheriff's department, which would be dispatch, that may be having to make a judgment call that they shouldn't be making. So, yeah, I mean, I'll talk to him as well.
Let me,
that is a concern.
I'll just share something else kind of along those lines. You guys aware of the incident that happened? Was Monday night. Intoxicated driver, 16-year-old kid fell off the car. It was somewhere around Best One. I didn't catch the exact address. Are you guys aware of this at all?
Where?
Here in town.
Somewhere downtown on Texas.
On Colgan, at Colgan 27, it's right at the corner.
Yeah. Miles DeWitt was driving the car. He's in jail now for multiple felonies. And it was a 16-year-old kid, Ian, sorry, I said his name. But now he fell off the car. Now he's in Lutheran with a brain bleed.
Jeez.
So I have a police scanner, and I actually hear all sides of it. Dispatcher asked if they should dispatch county police to this or not. Like, they had to get permission to dispatch a sheriff or a deputy here.
I've heard that.
That is ridiculous.
We can talk about this later. We're gonna talk about this later. Enough said.
Like, these are the things that we're meant to do. That's why we come in here. We come in hot.
You're saying the exact same thing that we've all wondered.
Alright.
I mean, you're not alone in this.
No,
Like, I have frustrations myself.
like, what's their reason why? I mean, it's like a bridge version. Like, because you have a police department, mean us essentially, and you're in town limits, so.
There's a lot of statutory.
So, I mean, like, if that happened, I mean, Burn always had somebody on, but like.
So there's a lot of statutory reasons for it. I mean, we've had this discussion during, public meetings, and it was when, last year we were discussing hiring a new town marshal. Once a town actually hires a town marshal, that is their own police department. So the enforceability, the county loses, for instance, if I've advised the council this, we don't necessarily have to have a town marshal department. If we didn't, it's like we have no police department, so county is always us, responds to everything. That you lose that ability to kind of demand that by Indiana statute upon getting a town marshal. Now the hard part is, I think everybody in the council sees the value of having a town marshal. However, as we've all noted, I grew up just out of town my whole life. it's a small town. It doesn't have an enormous budget. It can probably generally not afford a full-time town marshal. Thus arises this problem. So
we've taken steps to try to help that. We originally had just 2 marshals in Grover, and then we, what's that?
They're 5
Yeah, and then we hired
just
on-
added one.
Yeah, we hired on 2 more. Okay, so now we got a total of 5.
And just curious, about how many hours a week? Like,
They're allotted 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
each officer or
Just
the
one.
police department? Okay.
That's all that's in the budget,
Okay.
unless we raise taxes extensively.
Yeah, I understand, you know, we're trying to stay within a budget.
Sure, I understand.
People, you know, it's tough times right now.
But we went from
We're
having,
in summer, we know.
we went from nobody patrolling to now we have 5 or 6 officers that are out there on the streets.
But it used to be like, so, and it'll still happen on occasion. The sheriff's department will actually come check my locks on my doors. Like, they walk downtown, they check business doors, make sure they're locked.
They still do.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
If you
within the
look at-
last year, I've
If you
noticed.
look at the log that they publish
Yeah.
in the paper, they still walk it. It's still in there.
So the sheriff's department will come to do that, but not for emergency.
It's a county thing.
Okay.
They'll go all the way to Geneva and check, like, they check, like, I used to be on the sheriff's department when I first moved down to West County. I was on the sheriff's department 15 years. I drive all over the county on 3rd shift and just do random checks. There's a whole log sheet of like 300 properties
Yeah.
that you could just randomly, hey, I decided to go all the way to Lynn Grove tonight and check 6 properties. You physically call those in.
Okay.
So if you ever want to know when your property got checked, you can call them dispatch, they'll pull it up on the computer, and the officer has to log that
Okay.
from their car.
Okay.
So that can happen to anybody.
Okay.
Only like residential
Residential too?
or commercial.
Residential.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And you have to request that.
You have to request the
I'm like, wait, what?
I was gonna say, they're just gonna come to my house.
In the middle of the night, try my door?
Residential will be requested.
Yeah, okay.
And they're all residential. I still have my original log sheet in my folder, in my bag.
Okay.
So I can pull that out at any time
Okay.
and do a security check.
Okay.
And each property has a code number.
Gotcha.
So like your property downtown, you probably have a code number.
Yeah.
And the thing is from that standpoint, officer would show up, call the code number,
Yeah.
and say everything's 10-4.
Yeah. And I do get, I mean, sheriff's department calls me if the door is actually unlocked. This happens about once a year, so.
You can actually go on the county end app.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's on there, every one of their calls they have.
Yeah.
Walk.
I mean, it's specifics of
Right.
that, but.
It tells you property check, but it
Okay.
shows you time, date. So-
Have you got anything else?
Got one more question. With the new signs going up on 124 on that park, no parking signs, because a girl that couldn't make it tonight, where are they supposed to park if they don't have a back driveway? How are we doing that when the road comes in for that expansion?
That's a state ordinance.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, I know
that's
that.
out of our, that's out of our
Like, who-
hands.
Is it still gonna be 2030? That's when it's supposed to start happening?
Well, 2029, it's supposed to go to bid July. It'll be out to bid for like 2 months, I'm told.
Okay.
And then they'll get bids back, and then it'll be awarded like October.
Okay.
And then the company that gets the contract, if they don't have nothing going on or they're wrapping something up, if they want to start bringing, they can start mobilizing at any time after that's done.
So is it more gonna be on our side of the road that's gonna be getting more taken out, or on the other side of the road? Because we're confused by all the maps that we keep on getting through the mail.
The roadway is staying the same width.
Okay,
The apron that's there, that 5 feet,
yeah,
that is the edge. That is where the curb will be.
okay.
And it's gonna be like that on the other side too. Sidewalks will move to the curb. Green space will go behind the sidewalks.
So then we're not really gonna lose that much.
You're not necessarily losing it, you're gaining green space.
Green space.
Yeah, and the water main gets moved,
Okay.
all new services, hydrants.
Okay.
I mean, it's a really big deal. The last number I was told was over $20 million.
Really?
Yeah, because like some of the maps that we're getting from some lawyers, it looks like we're losing like the majority of our front yard and it's all.
Some of it is-
Stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, some of it is right of way, and they're ahead of the game because they want some money.
Well, we
So,
haven't done anything, we're just waiting it off, because we're like, whatever.
yeah, there'll be meetings coming in a couple months.
So if somebody wanted to put a driveway in, what would they have to do?
You go and you file, you get on this, there's a application online that you go to through NDOT or something. I can't remember what it is, but you apply for an application for a driveway permit. And then, like, when they come down and they redo all this, they'll have that, they'll fix their survey and update it, and they'll include your driveway, and then for their right of way, whatever is stone will become concrete or asphalt. And then whatever's past their right of way is just yours to maintain.
So let's just say people live down there who don't have a driveway or a parking space behind, could they potentially put in that and still use that as a driveway?
They can apply for it, is what they have to be, is they have to be off the road. The signs have been there, and there was a bunch of them already in before these last 4 or 5 went up, that I never even noticed driving up and down the
Well, that
road.
comes to the thing with the post office, where these people are gonna park at to go to the post office, because they always used to park in front of my house.
And I'm not concerned about it.
You know, I'm like, well, I don't know, because we don't have a sign there yet, but I know eventually we're probably gonna have a sign
Park
there.
off the side like everybody else does, I guess.
And
They have to park off the side, right there, side of the post office on the east side.
I did ask if there was gonna be exceptions for the bank and the post office, and they said no.
What's NDOT's reason for pulling that parking away? Like,
The parking's been pulled away since '95.
Wow.
It's never been enforced. And safety concern at the school crossing is what drove this. Because I sat and I watched people do stupid stuff for a week at the school crossing, and it's like,
I just, man,
somebody's gonna get killed.
small towns that you park on both sides of the highway, and it's not a deal, you know, that's what
Yeah, some of them, some small towns, I had this conversation with a guy this morning, some small towns, you get it, and some you don't.
Instead of parking and picking their kids up like they're supposed to, they're parking on Washington Street. And the kids are darting between these cars and crossing, not at the crosswalk,
No.
but because,
Or they're in the main parking lot.
Or in the
Yeah.
main parking
Well,
lot,
it's
yep.
like, because darting out in the alley. Not in the main, not in the main alley.
so we are working with the school with that too, because someone sends out the school to say, don't park there, pick your kid up.
Yeah, there'll be notifications going out before the school year starts that it'll be enforced. So,
Well, if there's nothing else, I want to entertain a motion to dismiss.
I'll make a motion to dismiss.
I'll second.